Buenos días, clase, o buenas tardes, clase. Hoy vamos a hablar del verbo gustar. Oh, very first thing, I have a misspelling. Jugar, not gustar. We're talking about the verbo jugar. Jugar is different than gustar, right? You remember what gustar is. Me gusta, I like. This is jugar, different verb. All right, what you will learn. Hoy, today, you will learn how to use the verb jugar, what it means. You will learn a few key questions using the verb jugar, a few of the key questions, and you will also learn how to conjugate the verb jugar. Conjugate meaning to change depending on who the subject is. So let's get right into it. Jugar means to play. Now, when we're talking about jugar, we're talking about things that you play like sports or games. We're not talking about jugar is not used when talking about instruments, like playing an instrument. That is not how you use jugar. You would use the verb tocar if we're talking about playing an instrument. So, like, yo toco la guitarra. I play the guitar, which is different than yo juego el ajedrez. I play chess. All right, so here are some key questions. I recommend you get out your paper and pencil, right? If you don't have your paper and pencil out, pause the video, go get your paper and pencil, un lápiz y un cuaderno, so you can take notes. So we're always taking notes. These are two key questions and phrases. ¿Juegas los deportes tú? Do you play sports? ¿Juegas los deportes tú? So that's asking somebody else, do you play sports? Another question might be, ¿a qué deportes juegas tú? ¿A qué deportes juegas tú? You remember qué, meaning what, deportes, looks like sports. Juegas is to play, tú, you. What sports do you play? And look, I forgot a question mark there. No bueno. Can't forget question marks. What sports do you play? ¿A qué deportes juegas tú? What sports do you play? Here are some possible answers to that question. Yo juego el béisbol. Yo juego el fútbol, soccer, and yo juego el voleibol. Now, there are multiple ways to say volleyball. If you look it up, there are going to be about 6 different ways to say voleibol. Voleibol, vole, voleibol. Multiple ways to say this, okay? All of them are correct, just depending on where the people are and who you're talking to. We're talking about conjugating the verb jugar. What is conjugating again? Is it to keep the verb the same? No, it's to change the verb depending on the subject. Now, this is what you call a stem changing verb. So this part here, the beginning part, is called the stem. All right? So this is the stem, the J-U-G. That's the stem. So this is going to change a little when we conjugate the verb. Also, this is called, or I call it, a boot verb. A boot verb is one that has stem changes, but as you'll see in the next slide, they're in the shape of a boot. So if you see here, this is the boot that I'm talking about. And the boot part is because in the shape here looks kind of like a boot. These are the ones that have stem change. So what I mean by stem change is you have jugar is the verb meaning to play. Now, as we conjugate it, the u, changes to ue, to ue in these forms. So it becomes juego. Otherwise, if it were just jugo, it'd be more like jugo. And jugo is a juice, not this. This is juego. I play. Tú is juegas. You play. Él, ella, usted juega. He or she plays. Or you, formal play. Now, when you look back up here, you see the nosotros form. This is not part of the boot. It's not within the boot. So it does not change, does not partake in the stem changing. So it's jugamos, jugamos. There's no E in this one. For vosotros, we have jugáis, jugáis. This one is also outside of the boot. You all play, or y'all play, as I'd say, y'all play. Jugáis, and this is used in España. All right, then the last one, ellos, ellas, ustedes juegan. Back inside the boot. It's back inside the boot in the shape of the boot, so it has the stem change with the UE, with the UE. So it's juegan, meaning they play or you all play. So I'm going to say these, and I want you to say them out loud as well. If you're not saying them, you're not practicing, you're going to have a hard time with speaking, okay? You need to say them to yourself. Nobody can see you. Nobody can hear you. You're just doing it for you, okay? So, yo juego. Tú juegas. Él, ella, usted juega. Nosotros, nosotros, nosotras jugamos. Vosotros, vosotras jugáis. Ellos, ellas, ustedes juegan. All right. The next one. Now we're on to some practice. So, as we practice, you're going to fill in the blanks with the correct form of jugar. So, I'd like you to, I'll read these sentences, and then I want you to fill in the blanks with the correct form of jugar. All right? Me gusta al fútbol. Me gusta al fútbol. Juan y Carlos al ajedrez. Juan y Carlos al ajedrez. Vanessa al tenis con amigos. Should be al, not el. Giovanna y yo al voleibol. Giovanna y yo al voleibol. Remember, we're filling it in with the correct form of jugar. So it could either be jugar, juego, juegas, juega, jugamos, jugáis, or juegan. Those are your 7 options. So read through them and fill in the blanks with the correct form of jugar.